In this class, we are going to understand about arrays in Java. So why we have to use arrays in programming? Let us understand that with the help of some example. Let us consider an example like integer, let's say a. So what is the size of the a? A is allotted with how many bytes of memory? Okay. So generally integer is what? 4 bytes in Java. Okay. 4 bytes. So 4 bytes of memory is allotted. So like this 4 bytes of memory allotted, let's say 101, 102, 103, 104 are the addresses of the cells. Okay. Like this 4 bytes of memory allotted to the a. Now this a can store with a single value. So I am storing a single value 12. Okay, fine. What if I store the second number into the same variable? Now what happens here it is, if you store the second number, what happens is the previous value will be removed and the second number will be stored 20. Now if I say a is equal to 30, then what happens? 20 will be removed and 30 will be stored. Like this, at any given time a variable can store only one value. Okay. So therefore a variable can store okay, only one value. This is the general concept about what? Variables. You cannot store multiple values in the variable. Then how to store multiple values in a single variable? Therefore now here comes the concept called as what? Arrays. Arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable. Okay. How? Just a reference I will give you. For example, a is an array. Now I am going to create such type of memory. I am going to create 3 parts. Here 4 bytes, 4 bytes and 4 bytes. Okay. So therefore these are called as actually elements. What we call as elements. Okay. Means this particular thing, see like this, it is going to create a sequence like this. Means 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes. Like this elements it is going to create. Okay. Now here I can store 12, I can store 20, I can store what? 30. Therefore a single variable a is now storing what? Multiple values. Therefore this particular thing is called as what? Array variable. This is called as array variable. So what purpose arrays are used? Arrays are generally used to store multiple values in a single variable. Okay. It can allow to store what? Multiple values in a single variable. This is what purpose generally arrays are used. Okay. So this is what I am going to explain, please. Arrays are used to store multiple values of same data type in a single variable. Okay. Then what is array in Java? In Java, array is an object. It is an object. Okay. Right. Next definition. What is the definition? An array is a collection of elements of same data type. So an array A is a collection of elements. This is one element, this is another element, this is another element. Okay. So an array is a collection of elements of same data type where each element can store a single value. Okay. So each element stores what? Single value. This is what the definition of an array. Okay. So this is what. Next, how many types of arrays are there? There are 3 types of arrays are there. Okay. Arrays are of 3 types. One is single dimensional arrays, 2 dimensional arrays, and what? Jagged arrays. Now we are going to understand these 3 things. First of all, we are going to understand about what? Single dimensional arrays. In this particular single dimensional arrays, what happens? Let me explain here. If you observe this particular single dimensional array, let me take the different color here. Okay. If it is a single dimensional array, this is a single dimensional array where these elements, this is first element, this is the second element, this is the third element. These elements are organized what? Sequentially in the memory. Okay. These elements are organized what? Sequentially in the memory, and each element have the index number like this starting from 0. These are called as index numbers. Okay. Only single index numbers will be present like this. Each element have a single index number. Each element have a single index number. The index number starts from 0. So an array is a collection of elements. An array is a collection of elements of same data type, and these elements are organized in the memory sequentially, and each element is given what? Single index number. Therefore this array is what? Single dimensional array. Single dimensional array. Okay. So this is what you mean the definition of single dimensional array. Okay. So let me give this thing. This is what happens with the arrays and single dimensional arrays. So here I am going to paste. Let me say that here I am going to paste. Okay. Right. Let us say that better V arrays in Java. Here only I paste it, no problem, control V, right? And thereafter, let us see please. Then what is the syntax to create an array? Okay, how to create an array? This is what? Type array name and is equal to new. See, this square brackets is important. Square brackets represents it is an array. Okay, so type array name, and here we write what? Square brackets open close is equal to new of type. Same type you have to give. Type means data type. Okay, type of size. Size means here number of elements. Okay, so in this way you can give, or you can divide the syntax into two lines like this: type array name first of all, then here you write array name, and here you can give new of type of size, here new of type of size, like this in two lines also we can write it. This is a syntax. Okay, let me give you a simple example on this particular thing. A simple example let me give you. Okay, so I am going to explain in the form of a program itself. Let me give the in the form of program. Okay, so let me open so here we will continue how can we create the array. Okay, let me follow the syntax please. What the syntax? This syntax I am going to create. So this syntax I copy paste, control C, here I will paste it. Okay, so type means here data type. What the data type? Integer. Okay, array name means I give short name A. New of data type, same data type, that is integer only we have to give. Size means I give 3 elements, that's it. Okay, this is fine. So this is what an array that we have created. Now how the memory is going to be created for this particular array? How the memory will be created? Okay, and what is the use of new keyword here? Okay, this new keyword I have to explain regarding this one. Okay, so the new keyword in Java allocates memory at a runtime. So when the program is executing in the computer, at that time the new keyword will create the memory. So this keyword is called as, okay, the new keyword is a dynamic keyword. Okay, dynamic memory allocation keyword, dynamic keyword. Okay, this is what happens. So the new keyword is a dynamic memory allocation keyword, means it allocates the memory at a runtime. So in Java, this is the most important keyword here. Okay, this is the actual keyword which creates the memory at a runtime. In C language, if you go to the C language, malloc function you might be using, right? So that malloc function is replaced with the new keyword in what? Java. Okay, so let us see. Now this is new is going to create the memory of integer of how many elements? 3 elements. Let me explain how it is going to work. Let us say that please. But here let me explain parallelly here. Let me understand carefully how this particular memory is now creating, right? So how the memory is going to be created here, right? So A is the one variable created, please understand. A is a variable. So this A is a array variable. Okay, array reference variable, please, reference variable. Okay, reference variable what we call as. Okay, fine. Now right, array is a reference variable. Now what happens is, what does a reference variable? Reference variable stores, okay, stores address of memory location, address of memory. Okay, memory location. So it stores the address of what? Memory location. So let me tell you how this memory is created now. So here only A is a variable created. This is A is a variable created. That's it. Okay. Now the new is a keyword which is going to create integer of what? 3 elements. So what do you mean by this particular integer of 3 elements? Let's say A is equal to, sorry, A array is equal to, please, array is equal to what I'm saying? New of integer of 3. Okay, let me explain. So what is the integer size is? Integer size is 4 bytes. Okay, this is what? 4 bytes. 4 bytes multiplied by 3 is equal to totally how many bytes? 12 bytes of memory. Like this it is going to calculate. This 12 bytes of memory is now created by whom? New operator. New operator creates 12 bytes of memory, and which is allotted to what? A. How? Let us say that it is going to create 12 bytes of memory like this. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, 11 and 12, something like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, the addresses are 101, 102, 103, 104, and this is 105, 106, 7 8, okay, 109, here it is 108, 10 11, and what, this is 12. Okay, this is. So after dividing this particular, okay, after what happens, please let me show you here. Okay, maximize the screen, like. So after creating this 12 bytes of memory like this, okay, who is creating this memory, please? The new keyword is creating the memory. Okay, so the 12 bytes of memory, after creating 12 bytes of memory, it will divide the memory into parts based upon the data type of the array. What's the data type of the array? Is integer. Integer is how many bytes? 4 bytes. Therefore, every 4 bytes is divided into one part. Again 4 bytes, one part. Okay, 1 2 3, sorry, this is 4 bytes, 4 bytes, here it is. Okay, this is wrong, right? Again 4 bytes, another part. Okay, so like this, what is happening, please? Okay, now let me take another one. Okay, after creating this particular 4 parts, this is first part, this is second part, and this is a third part, and these 3 parts are called as, what are these parts are called as? These parts are called as elements. So totally how many elements are there? 3 elements are there. Okay, right, 3 elements. See, these are 3 elements, you got it? 3, see, 3 elements you got here. Okay, now each element is given one number. That number starts from 0, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, what are these particular numbers are called as? Okay, what are these numbers are called as? These numbers are called as index numbers. Index numbers or subscript numbers. Subscript numbers, this is index numbers are what we call as subscript numbers. Okay, so always the index number starts from 0. Okay, first element index number is 0 and incremented by 1, like this. This is how the array is created. Okay, I repeat please, this A is the only reference variable. This is what A is the only reference variable. Reference variable stores the address of memory. Okay, new is the actual keyword which creates the memory. So how many elements of memory? 3 elements of integer. So like this, integer of 3 elements, these 3 elements of integer memory is created. How it is created, how the memory is calculated means, integer size is 4 bytes and the number of elements is 3. 4 into 3 is 12 bytes. Like this 12 bytes of memory will be created. After creating the 12 bytes of memory, it will divide into parts based upon the data type of this array. So integer size is 4 bytes. So every 4 bytes one part, 4 bytes one part, 4 bytes another part. And these parts are called as elements, and each element is given one number starting from 0. These numbers are called as index numbers or subscript numbers. Okay, like this, after creating the array, see, this is an array. Okay, this is actually an array, please. Okay, this is actually an array object. This is what? Array object. This is what you have to notice, please. Okay, this is what an array object. Okay, array object. Now after creating this array object, now what does the new do here? It is after creating the 12 bytes, it will return the starting address of this memory. What is the starting address of the memory, please? This is 101. Okay, the 101. This 101 starting address will be returned and assigns to the A. So now returned, okay, 101 is returned and assigns to what? A. Therefore, A is stored with 101, which is pointing to this memory. Okay, so A is a reference variable that points to this memory. Okay, now this array can be accessed by using this array name. Okay, how? Let me say that. See, A of 0 is equal to 10. So I'm storing 10 into A of 0 index. So A of 0 index is stored with 10. Then I am going to say that A of 1 index is equal to 20. Therefore, A of 1 index is stored with what? 20. Like this, I can say A of 2 is equal to 30. So A of 2 is equal to 30. This is how we can store. Now see, this particular array can store multiple values or not? Yes, it is storing multiple values. This is what purpose generally arrays are used. So arrays are used for storing multiple values in a single variable. Okay, so let me copy paste here. This is what happening. Okay, let me show you this particular program, right? So this is the memory created. I store here A of 0 index element stored with what? 10. A of 1 index is stored with what? 20. A of 2 index is stored with what? 30. Okay, Now I can also print here, please see out, I printed the values. So a of 0. Similarly, I can print here, I copy paste here and I print a control V, but the index number I change here, it is what? Okay, 1 and what? 2. So this is how. Now I run the program, see, I run the program and it's going to show you, see, a of 0 contains what? 10, a of 1 contains what? 20, okay, a of 2 contains what? 30, okay. So here, first of all, I have created an array and a of 0 index element stored with 10, a of 1 is stored with 20, a of 2 is stored with what? 30, and here it is the values it is printing, okay. And if you want to see the diagram of this particular thing, you can see here, see, a of 0 is stored with 10, a of 1 is 20, a of 2 is 30. Understood, right? So this is a simple program that okay, I have created on what? Arrays. Okay, let me paste here a small program, okay, example program, okay. So this is the program. Is okay, right? Then now the question comes here, it is okay, how to how to print this particular array values using loop, okay. Using loop, how to print the values present in the array, that is now what I am going to explain. See, instead of write this one, I can also use the loop, okay. For integer I is equal to 0, okay, I is equal to 0, okay, then I is less than, okay, I is less than, what I mean to say is I is less than 3 elements, okay, I plus plus, because how many indexes are there here, please? 3 indexes, less than 3. Less than 3 means 0, 1 and what? 2, okay. So simply I can give you simple logic over here. If you observe carefully in this particular case, see, can I write like this, please? Can I write like this? See, a of, can I say this is I? This index number can I consider as I? I is equal 0, 1 and 2. Okay, I is equal 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so therefore what I can say is, so I am giving the index numbers, I is equal 0, I is less than 3. 3 means the number of elements, I plus plus. Then I am going to write here sys out, okay. What I can do is, here it is a of I can give you, okay, right. So let me simplify this one. Let me simplify this one. Understand carefully. Let me simplify. So what is the A array, please? This is 101. Okay, 3 elements I write like this. Simplify. Okay, 0 index, 1 index, 2 index. Here stored with 10, 20 and 30. Okay, so how to print on the monitor means integer I is equal to 0. Yes, it is possible that you can create a variable in the loop. Okay, for loop. Okay, sorry. Now I is less than 3 elements, I plus plus. Okay, now what I going to do is SOP, I can write A of I. Okay, now let me explain how actually this is going to work. Okay, see, now what is I variable, please? I initial is what? Initial is start is what? 0. I start is 0. Now check the condition. I 0. 0 is less than 3. Yes, true. True means go here. Print A of I. What's I is 0. Now A of 0 value. See, what is the A of 0 value is 10. 10 is going to print on the monitor. Okay, end of the for loop. Again go back to the updation. I plus plus. I becomes what? 1. Then after it will check the condition. I 1. 1 is less than 3. Yes, true. Go into the loop and prints A of I. What's I is now? 1. So A of 1 is what? 20. Okay, end of the for loop. Again go back to what? Step. That is what? Updation 22. Okay, then after it will check the condition. I is what? 2. 2 is less than 3. Yes, true. Go here and print A of I. What's the I is now? 2. Therefore A of 2 is how much? 30. See, A of 2 is what? 30. Okay, end of the loop, and I print here I plus plus. I becomes what? 3. 3 is less than 3. False. False means loop will be stopped. Okay, so this is. So what I mean to say is, here A of I means I may be any number from 0 to less than 3. So I can be 0 index, I can be 1 index, I can be 2 index. This is how can you print the for loop, can print arrays using what? For loop. Okay, so let me put a comment here. This is what I put a comment. This is what. Now this is what, how can we print using comments. This is what happens. See, I got the same value 10, 20 and 30. Okay, so this is what, how can we access the elements using for loop. Okay, so okay, printing array using for loop. Okay, for loop, this is one thing. This is what for loop. So this is the program. Okay, then now we can also print this particular values using for each loop. Okay, so printing array using for each loop, please. For each loop, this is another loop that we can see. Okay, for each loop syntax, actually for each loop. Now the first point that you have to notice, okay, for each loop can be, okay, should be used or should be used only with the arrays, please. Only with the arrays. Okay, we should not use with the other things. Okay, syntax. Syntax is for, open the flower base. Here you have to type, okay, variable is equal to, okay, then I can give you what? Array. You can give here what? Array. This is right. So this is what happens is the syntax of this array. Okay, syntax of the array, right? So let me remove this one also, right? This is, so I can give you what here, element value, I mean says element value, element, okay, element, I can say element, okay, type, element and array. Okay, what is this particular thing? Let me make you understand, please. Okay, here itself I am going to explain once again, please understand carefully what happens. So assume A is an array. Again I am simplifying. This is an array with how many elements? 0, 1, 2, contains 10, 20, 30. Now what is a for each loop? For integer. Why I am taking integer? Because A data type is what? Integer. Okay, A data type is integer. Okay, right. A data type is integer. So integer, I can say that something called as x colon. What is the array name is? A is an array name. Open the flower base, close the flower base. Now I am going to print x. Okay, no index numbers are present over here. Okay, so what is the meaning of this statement here? It is, what's the meaning of this statement here? It is, understand carefully. How to pronounce this one? This is for each. Okay, for each x in A. This is how can we say that? Okay, how to pronounce, please? For each x in sorry, not in integer, in A. Okay, means x is going to represent each and every element present in A array. What are the values present in the A array? 10, 20, 30, right? This is, therefore now this x is going to represent each element present in the array. Means first of all 10 will be assigned, then 20 will be assigned, then 30 will be assigned, like this. This is the meaning. Okay, x is going to represent each and every element present in the A array. Okay, so this is what. So this colon you have to pronounce as in. Okay, for should be pronounced as for each, right? Let us see what happens. This array is there. So this array, A array, contains how many numbers, please? 3 numbers. See, 10, 20 and 30. Okay, this array. Now how it is going to work means, let me explain, please. Don't forget this particular concept. Okay, right. First of all, when the loop runs, 10 will be assigned to the x, enters into the loop and prints the x value. What the x value is? 10. Then next, so end of the for loop. Once it is end of the for loop, now in the next iteration 20 will be assigned to the x and prints the 20. End of the loop, and the next cycle, in the next iteration 30 will be assigned to the x, enters here 30. Now all elements are completed. Once all elements are completed present in the array, then loop will be terminated. Okay, so let us see how it is going to work, please. Right, let's say that. Okay, so let us, how can we see? Let us understand here, please. Okay, how can I write this particular thing now? How can I write? For each integer. Okay, for each integer x colon A array. That's it. Now here I can write what? X. That's it. X completed. Okay, right. So for each integer x in what? A array. First of all, a value, first element value 10 will be assigned to the x and goes into the loop, prints here. In the next iteration, next element value 20 is assigned to x and prints on the monitor. Like this it is going to run. See, the same output you will be getting. There is no difference. Okay, so like this you can print the values present in the array by using for loop or by using for each loop. So whichever you feel better, that you can use depending upon your programming logic. Okay, depending upon the programming logic, you can use either for loop or for each loop. Okay, so we will continue the remaining concepts of arrays in the next class. Okay.